Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Raising A to Z. It is a homeschool channel. My name is Amanda. I am a teacher turned homeschooler, and I'm here to talk today a little bit about how we do financial education with our kids. So in other words, how do we do allowances with our kids? Before we get into exactly how we do allowances with our kids, take a second and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and make sure you click the bell so you get notifications every time we put out a new video. That way you never miss any of this amazing content. There are a lot of different takes on personal finances. There's a lot of different approaches and ways you can do personal finances with your kids. And it's something that we really felt strongly about, that we wanted to instill at a young age some finance skills with them. And so we have kind of developed a way using a couple different methods and different ideas here and there and kind of blended them all together to create how we do our homeschooling, not just homeschooling, but like life skill of like personal finance with our kids, and how they get an allowance in our house. First off, let's start with Alexi is 5, almost 6, and Zoe is 3, almost 4. Like their birthdays are coming. And so we obviously have an age appropriate method for them right now, and this is how we've been doing kind of chores and allowances and payouts and stuff like that for them. First off, one of the things that Stephen and I agreed when we started having kids was that we are a family. We work together as a family. That's part of being a family unit. And part of being a family unit is that we have roles and responsibilities to our home and to our house and to each other. And part of that is maintaining our house. So for the most part, there are certain expectations that we have in our home that we do not pay the kids for. We don't pay them for picking up their toys. We don't pay them for making out their beds. We don't pay them for putting their dishes on the sink. Those are things that we just expect of them because they are parts of our family. Like they are members of our family, and that's what we do to help everybody so that our home runs smoothly. Those are things we don't pay for. That's just an expected thing that they do. You know, we don't feed their fish. Actually, I do feed their fish. That's because I really like feeding the fish. For the most part, like those are things that we just expect them to do. They have a series of age appropriate chores that we just kind of expect them to do. They have to clean up their activity room. They have to pick up their playroom. Their dishes go to the sink. Those are just things that we expect them to do. Now, we do want our kids to be able to earn some money. So we do have a system that they can use to earn some cash, because kids like money. Kids like being able to like go to the dollar store or the toy store and get what they want. And so we actually have like a system for them to be able to earn that. Any job that would be above and beyond what we just expect of them is potentially a payout job. So for example, helping us empty the dishwasher is not something we expect of our kids because a lot of this stuff is far too high for them. But for the parts that they do, that they are able to do, if they choose to help me empty the dishwasher one day, they can earn a little bit of cash. Other things that they can earn cash for, if they want to help me fold laundry, I don't expect them to be able to fold laundry yet because of their ages. So if they want to help me fold laundry, they can do that. They can dusting baseboards is another popular thing that they like to do for me. They will go around and dust the baseboards or like door frames or ledges in the house. That's fine. Those are all things that they could potentially earn some cash for, and each one kind of has, I have a number in my head of what they could potentially earn. So for example, helping me empty the dishwasher, for us, that's a 25-cent job. So they could earn 25 cents for emptying the cutlery in the dishwasher and putting away the stuff that they can reach. No problem. Dusting all the baseboards in a room, that's 25 cents. Alexi has actually kind of even stepped up and has earned up to $1 for certain tasks. Alexi earns, 10 cents every couple days for putting the garbage bag in garbage cans. When we empty the garbage, she likes to do that, and it's an easy job for her to earn. Another thing that we've done, Alexi actually during the summer, she's actually kind of stepped up and earned a couple extra bucks. She's helped, one of the big jobs that she earned this year, she helped clean out the car. She vacuumed the back of my car. That's a big job. That's something I would have had to do, but she offered to do it. So I paid her $1 for that. Another job that she actually got $2 for was Stefan was cleaning out the gutter, and she stood at the bottom on the ground and pushed the wheelbarrow while he was on the roof scooping out all the leaves and gunk out of the gutters and throwing it down into the wheelbarrow. So she did that, earned $2, one for each side of the house, and that was like a super helpful job. But it's like not something I expect her to do on a regular basis, right? And so our kids keep track of their earnings on a chart. Zoe's chart, originally, it was the original chart. It has a couple pictures of things that they could do to earn some cash. So she has a picture of a dishwasher. She has a picture of like dusting and a broom, and a couple different pictures on it, as well as like a dollar, like a cash amount. Anything from like 25 cents to $1. And so she has that, and every time she does a job, we have like these stamper markers. She can put a stamp, and that's how I know how many jobs she's done by the end of the month. Alexi is kind of graduated to a little bit of a higher chart where it just has like cash amounts. So she now has like a 10 cent, 25, 50 cent blocks and like a $1. So I can give her, a 10-cent stamp. I can tell her to stamp the $1 section depending on what the job that she does complete, right? And so at the end of the month, I just tally it all up, and then we do a cash out. Once we cash out, at the bottom of the chart, I actually have a place where it tells us how much they've earned for the month. And then we divide it up into 4 different jars to help them learn how to divide up their money in a certain way. So they have a couple different categories that we budget their monies into, and that they can decide how that money is spent. The first category that they can put money into is into their spending category. So they each have like a little piggy bank. They like the pretty one. They each have one. This one is Zoe's. And so 50% of what they've earned for the month goes into their piggy bank. And when they want to go to the store or, buy something for themselves, or for, at Christmas, this is what they use to buy their gift for each other. They have some money in their spending jar. They also have 2 smaller jars. So they have a giving jar. So 10% of what they earn goes into the giving jar, and then they can save it up and give it to a cause that they feel is important. So whether that is giving to church, whether that is finding something that they think is an important cause, doing a one-time donation, anything like that. But they're in charge of how the giving money is going to be spent. It's just how much that goes in here that we kind of control. So it's up to them to find a cause or whatever when they're ready to give their money to. The other little jar that they have, this is Zoe's, is their savings jar. So this is where 25% of their money goes into. And in their saving jar, this is something that we help them come up with a goal for. And this is something that is like a longer term thing that they really, really want. So for example, right now, the girls are saving up for a puppy. They really want to get a little dog, and so they are saving up specifically to buy the dog toys and to buy the dog a collar. That's what they really, really want, and that's a great goal for a 4 and 6-year-old. Like, that's fantastic. And so they have money in here, and every month they get a little bit that goes in here, and that we count it up, and that is going towards their specific long-term savings goal, because we're not getting a puppy right now. It's just not happening, but they're saving up and they're working towards it. And so it's a great thing for them to learn how to pick a goal of something they really want and save up long term for it. The last jar that we have, this is a jar that sits in my kitchen. It is our family tax jar. It's always funny when kids or like teenagers get a job and they realize that they don't get to keep all of their money. It's a little bit shocking for them. So even if they made $10 an hour, they might only be going home with, $7 of that in their pockets, and it's a little bit shocking for them. So one of the things that we wanted to teach our kids is that you need to plan for taxes, that a bit of everything you make is not going to go into your pocket. And so we charge our kids tax. 15% of what they make goes into the family tax jar. And don't think that we're terrible people. We aren't stealing their money. We do income tax refunds. once a year, and we'll take the money and do something with the kids, whether that is like go get ice cream, or we'll put it towards a bigger goal. Whatever comes out on income tax day, we put towards something that is for the family. So we've done like movie nights, treats, ice cream days, those kind of things. But it's a good way for them to like get in the habit of the money that they get is not always their own. Because unfortunately taxes are a part of life, and it shouldn't be shocking or surprising to anyone that you have to pay taxes on what you earn. And so this is just a good way that they get to kind of figure out what that is and how it works. And so yeah, we charge our kids 15% family tax, and so far they aren't complaining too much. But it is, like I said, it's a learning thing, right? And they do get it back eventually. We're not cruel and heartless parents. That's how we do allowances. It seems to work really well for us. Some months they earn more money, some months they don't earn so much. On average, Alexi earns about $5-ish a month, which isn't bad for a 5-year-old. Some months she's earned as little as $1, and that's fine because we still get the basic things that I expect them done. It's just kind of the above and beyond that they can do to earn some extra cash. That is how they earn their money. So if they want to be extra helpful and earn some cash, they can do that. But our home still gets cleaned and still gets maintained because that's just expected of them. They don't get paid for that. And then we also get the added on benefit of them learning how to categorize and put their money into categories that will help them hopefully learn good financial habits going into the future. Whether it's earning some spending money, whether it's having a bit of money to give to a good cause, or building some ways to learn some long-term savings and working towards a goal financially. I think that's a great thing for them. Like, they really want that puppy. They're working towards it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found this video interesting and informative, and maybe gave you guys an idea of how you guys can do allowances in your household. And if you like this video and like other videos like it, please hit subscribe and click the bell to get notifications when we put out new videos, which is pretty much every Monday. If you want to see how we do our lives, how we live our lives, how the kids spend some of their money, you can definitely follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, where we post videos on the regular. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.